First of all, Jamie, welcome to the Sports for Champions podcast.
Thank you for having me here.
Great to have you here. Jamie is a pro scooter rider. I'd probably like to start actually by, what do you call a scooterist, rider, scooter rider? What do you...
So I just say I'm a professional scooter rider, and a scooter. Basically, I just say professional scooter rider,
Right.
or just scooter rider without the professional is another word to say it.
So a little bit about how you got into scootering. How long have you been doing it?
So I watched a video online of some guy doing a backflip on a scooter, and I was like, I know I could do that because I could backflip on a trampoline, but I was like, that'd be so cool. Like, I used to ride a scooter like round the estate and stuff like that, but it was always, my mum would go to Argos and it was like 2 for £15, and like they'd break both of them within a week.
Yeah.
So I got a professional one, and within like 6 months I did my first backflip. Like, I was just so determined, and then I started to learn other tricks, and then been riding for 10 plus years now. I think it's coming to 11 years in a couple of months, and I've just been at it every single day.
That's awesome. So my first experience with scooters, they were kind of seen as like the scourge of the skate park. Is it similar to that now, or...?
Not really. You still get the odd skateboarders that like think that scooter riders are still like just going around in circles, but if you actually look, like some of the scooter riders that what we're doing now, like I've just landed the first triple backflip on a wooden ramp, and that's like
Crazy.
When I first started, I think when I did my first backflip, like I threw my scooter in the air and I was like, yes, no way, I've just done that. And then to think at the exact same skate park, I've added another 2 backflips on top of that already. It's insane. But you'd still get the odd skateboarders and BMXs, and even like inliners that think like scooter riders like get in the way. And personally, sometimes scooter riders get in my way still, but once they learn it's like the skate park etiquette, like learning like to look both ways, because people don't really do that. Like, it's just like ride like in the straight line, and like you don't really look, but you go up to them and you just speak to them and be like, you just need to make sure that you're looking left and right and like looking where people are going. And after like a session or 2 of them being there, they understand it. But yeah, we still get called the snakes at the skate park.
That's it, yeah, because there's quite a lot of rivalry between all the different skate park disciplines, really, isn't there? I know that you get the BMX riders saying that it's kind of easy riding. Easier version of BMX. What do you think about that?
Well, I got on a BMX and I did a double backflip within like the first like 2 sessions of riding a bike, and I could do like front flips, tail whips, 360 tail whips on bike. And really, I think scootering is harder because there's a lot more like tricks to do within it. Like, once on a bike you've learned the whips and the bars and the backflips, you've just got to put them all together. And like with scootering, there's a lot more like tricks that you can do within it. But yeah, it's good riding scooter, and it's good that I'm trying to learn BMX now as well, so I can do both.
That's good, because it is seeming to get more recognition. There's more people like yourself who have got a huge following online, and you do see a lot more of it at the skate parks. And I think the Australian president of the Scooter Association was talking about the Olympics. Next sort of...
I went to Barcelona, and the guy there was saying that he wants to get scootering in the Olympics. Like, and we've got people like Ryan Williams, who's a Nitro Circus, which is one of the biggest like touring shows. And I was fortunate enough to go on and do the shows with him. And I feel like scootering just like one of the biggest growing sports recently, as there's more funding and more skate parks are recognising it, which is really good.
And have you noticed more people coming into the sport? You see a lot more young kids taking
it. There's a lot more young kids doing it, and like mainly people get on it to do exercise. But when you go to the skate parks, you meet like people, and then you make friends, and then you can like meet up again, and like that's what I did. So I had a group of friends that we used to always go, and when we were there, it wasn't really like a rival, but like you'd want to be better than the other person, and I feel that's really good, like having a little bit of rivalry with your mates, because then you learn and progress better. So it's really good.
So do you have like a version of skate maybe Scoot.
Yeah, it's a game of Scoot, really. Yeah, it was like Scoot. That's a good
man.
game. I like playing that.
That's awesome. So between, like, obviously you can go and get your scooter from B&M Bargains that are probably cost £15 or something like that. How much is a pro, and what's the differences between? Like,
the difference between like the cheaper ones and the better ones, like the more you pay for them, like some bars are made out of titanium now, and they weigh like about the weight of your phone. Like, they're ridiculously light, and they're really strong as well. And I ride for a company that are manufactured in Australia, and for one of the decks, just the deck on alone is £300, like £350. But they are the best decks, like in the company. Like, Apex is like one of the best. Not one of the best, the best. Like, every single person wants to have one of them. But you can buy like complete scooters now for about like £250, and they're really good. But the more you pay for a scooter, like the lighter bars you get, like some of the bars are £300 just for the bars, and they're really expensive, but they last, and they're really lightweight, so learning tricks gets easier.
Yeah, I kind of think, would it not be more difficult with a lighter, because you've not got as much purchase?
Sometimes, like what I did because when I first got a pair of titanium bars like a couple of years ago, it was really hard to like spin the bars because it was that like lightweight. It just, the momentum felt weird. So I put metal bar ends like in the bar ends, so when it spun, it was kind of heavy still.
Yeah.
And I ride steel bars now. They're called fluted steel. So it's not as light as titanium, but they're not as heavy as steel. So, but they're really good. I really like them bars. Like, they're the right weight.
Nice. So I'm just like, as scootering kind of changes, I'm like, do you have at the moment, is there like a Tony Hawk of scooter? Do you think there's somebody who could take it to that next level?
I think Ryan Williams is definitely one of the people, if not the person, that will be the Tony Hawk of scooter riding. Like, we have a lot of OGs like Terry Price. He was like the first person to do like everything back in the day. But I think Ryan Williams is still going today, and still, like, he's got on BMX and done scooter tricks on BMX, which is absolutely insane. I was lucky enough to go out just after my 18th birthday, and I went to our Willy Land, which is like his like land, and he's got like a mega ramp.
Where's that, sorry?
Australia.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I stayed in like he's got like a little place where there's loads of rooms, like, and then you open up this porch, and you can just see a big mega ramp and a massive airbag.
Wow.
And that's where I learnt my first triple backflip on that. But each day, like, he goes out there because it's like 5 minutes from his house. It's like in the middle of nowhere. It's literally round the corner from where I'm a Celebrity was filmed.
All right, wow.
So like,
so I've been like Cairns or something.
Yeah. It's like the nicest place ever. But I don't like the spiders there though.
Yeah, I've been to Australia myself. Not a fan of the spiders.
No, because the first time I got there, he was like, I opened the van door. I was like, don't open it a sec. Get out the other side. I was like, oh, why is the door like closed or something? He was like, no, there's a spider. I was like, it shouldn't be that big. And this was on the side of the car, and I was like, what a greeting to Australia.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome to Australia, mate.
Yeah.
That is a shocker. So what's the scene like in Australia? I know
it's crazy. Like, everyone in Australia is just mad.
Yeah. Like,
and I wear like bum pads, knee pads, and like ankle guards when I ride. In Australia, they don't really wear knee pads. They're just the hard as nails.
Yeah.
They just go for it, and I'm just all there looking like I'm ready for war.
Yeah. They've got a few stars in Australia. What is that? Is that what you think that's taking it to that next level? Because it does seem to compete a lot more.
Yeah. Like, they've got a lot of riders, but currently, I think the UK is like one of the best for riding. Like, me, Jordan Clark, and Archie Cole, and Leo Spencer, and there's a few others that are like, and Jaden Sharman. We're all like top level riders, and like, I've been coming like first in like every single competition, and sadly I couldn't go in the Worlds this year because I sprained both my ankles on a mega ramp.
How did you manage that?
So basically, I was doing like, I've got a video actually on my phone. I'll show.
Well, maybe we'll whack it.
We'll whack it on there. And then
yeah.
So I like did this double front flip. I tried to do 5 tail whips in it, and I came down and just sat on both my ankles, and I thought I just snapped them clean in half. Yeah. And I looked at them like they took all the pads off, and they were both black, and I was like, oh, here we go.
Straight away.
Yeah, and then I was like, I'm not going to be able to like go in this competition. So I was like, I was in so much pain, and I was like crying. They were like, why are you in pain? I was like, I can't compete now. I was gutted. Yeah. But hopefully this year I'll be able to go back then.
That's it. I saw that. I was having a look at some footage from Montpellier in 2019.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
It looked like you were down and out. Then it was. I think it was on the. Was it the last?
Yeah, the last trick.
Tell us a bit about that.
So it was me and Dylan Morrison was in first place, and I had my like second run to go. And in most competitions, like when the clock ends, that's it. But in FIS, as long as you're like dropping in when the timer goes out, it doesn't matter. Like you're going towards a trick.
Yeah.
So I did that, and everyone was like, "It's out of time." But the rules are like, it's not, because he did the same as me. He did a trick that was like out of time. Like he was dropping in, and the time went.
Yes.
And it was like when it came up that I like got above, I was just like, yes, I was so happy. And I'm going back to FIS in March to compete again, so hopefully I can bring it out the bag as well.
It was literally like the last run, the last trick, and then the last second of like event, and
what makes it good as well, the crowd there are absolutely amazing. Like this, I don't know what song it is. It's the Seven Nations Army. You know that song? Like the whole crowd just starts going and it's like you feel proper warm inside. It's boss.
Yeah. Does that give you a big buzz then, doing it in front of a crowd?
Yeah. It like they get you more hype, because when you land a trick, you like start screaming. It just gets you like the adrenaline going that you just want to keep going and do even more.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so good.
So where do you see the future of scootering?
Well, hopefully the Olympics, because BMXing's just got into the Olympics, and my friend Declan Brooks has got a bronze medal, and then Charlotte Worthington, she got the gold medal. That's absolutely amazing, and hopefully one day I want to have that gold medal. That'll be a dream come true. That.
And in terms of the UK, you feel like we're really well positioned going into. How do you feel like we are in terms of facilities and things like that?
I think, not gonna lie, we have the best facilities. Facilities. That's it. We've got like the best indoor skate parks in the world, and like we have Corby, which is like one of the biggest skate parks like in the world. It's got like 5 different rooms. It's massive, and luckily where I live, just in Widnes, I've got like 5 skate parks, like about the longest like 35 minutes away, which is D-side, which is where we are now. And I've got Ramp Works, Greystone, Ramp 1 here, Junction 4, and they've all got massive ramps and big roofs as well, so you can go as high as you want. It's so good, like being like in the spot we are, because we're quite central to all the main skate parks, which is really good.
That's awesome. It's a really exciting time for it, isn't it? And it does seem like an emerging sport, and it's so funny to see, because back when we used to go take our bikes to the skate park, and we were literally just so derided when park. But now it does seem to be changing.
It seems to like people are like taking it seriously now. Like when I first started, I just wanted to do a backflip, and then that was it. But I actually really enjoyed it, and also it keeps you fit, and it like gives you something to do. It gives you like a purpose to like wake up and be like, oh yes, today I want to learn this. Even today, like every single day, I think of a trick. I'm like, all right, I want to learn something like this. It might not be like that, but something on the lines of that. Then like a week later, I can add a trick to it. So I'm just always trying to evolve and learn new stuff.
So how often do you train?
About like 6 to 7 times a week. So basically every single day. No days off.
That's awesome. How long do you normally train for?
About 4 to 5 hours.
Because I imagine it's quite punishing at times.
Yeah.
Some of the impacts.
Like I've had a few injuries, and like my knees feel my knees have just turned 27 72 the other day.
Right,
they had a birthday, my knees. My back just turned 54.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, because watching some of the videos, some of the height that you get, and the force with which you're hitting the ramp on your way down.
Yeah, like I'll be like, you'll be seeing me and I'll just sit there and like crack my back, and like sometimes I had really bad problems with my knees about like 3 years ago from just all the impacts, and I had to go to like physio and work on it and stuff like that. So it's quite a lot of impacts.
I can imagine. Do you try and keep healthy generally?
I kind of try and eat healthy, but and keep healthy. But I'm a fussy eater, so like I eat a lot of salt and pepper chicken from the chippy.
Fair enough, yeah.
Because I can't live without that.
Yeah.
I always have me bacon on toast in the morning.
Yeah.
And like I try and drink a lot of water, but I can't go without a Lucozade.
Yeah, fair. I think that's if you're sort of looking to refuel and isotonic sport drinks.
Yeah, I love them. They're so good.
They are good as well.
Yeah, I have tried to start like having protein shakes and eating vegetables, but I'm such a fussy eater.
So because you've been going to the gym as well.
Yeah. I started to go to the gym just so I could like build muscle and get fitter. So being fitter, we have our competitions like 60-second runs.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem a lot, but when you've got the adrenaline and when you're doing tricks, you don't really breathe that much when you're doing tricks. So like when you're like riding, after like 10 seconds in, you're like and you're trying to breathe, and then your arms get like arm pump and you get like cramp. I did a competition, I think, where was it? I think it was in America, it was. And after my competition, I was that like tired that my hands had like stuck on my grips, and I had to get my mum to like peel my fingers back, and I had to stretch them out because they were like stuck on the grips.
Wow. Because I suppose it is that tension, isn't it?
Yeah, because you're just holding on
for so long.
Yeah,
for dear life.
Literally.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So I was going to actually ask you if you think that sort of the athlete life is tough, but do you actually see yourself as an athlete? I mean, for the record, I think you are.
Yeah, I see myself as an athlete, but like I don't see myself as like a proper athlete that like eats healthy, does everything like that. Yes, I am an athlete, as in like I am a professional sport, but like it is getting there, but I don't think it's as like an athlete as like a runner or a marathon runner or like a swimmer. They have like strict things. We don't really have like strict boundaries that we can't really do.
Yeah.
But I think when this World Roller Games start to get into the Olympics and start talking about it, I think then we'll have like stricter things, and we'll start having like eating regimes and stuff, and like coaches and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that is a big difference, isn't it? And you kind of saw the transition with freestyle BMX fairly recently. Because that was kind of, it was almost like a semi-drinking pursuit.
Yeah, because a lot of like the Declan Brooks and the Charlotte Worthington, they like started to eat more healthy and like but like strict with the diets, and like I went up to them, I was like, do you want a sweet? Because I always have sweets with me when I go riding just for sugar. They're like, we can't have them. I was like, she was like, I had a slice of cake last night, so I've got to be healthy for the Olympics, and that's gonna like take a toll on me if we have to do it, but if it is what it is, and
worth it
to get a gold medal, I'll definitely do that.
Definitely. So do you have like a favourite sporting hero or someone you looked up to?
Well, growing up, even though we didn't ride scooters, Tony Hawk was definitely one of my like look it up, because I used to play the game, and I used to actually like ride a skateboard when I was like 6. Couldn't drop in a ramp, I'd just go down a little path on it. And I actually bought a Tony Hawk skateboard, and like he got me into like action sports, and then I started riding BMX for a bit, because like I didn't think I had any control, because it didn't have anything to hold on to. My body was just going all over the place. And then I just picked up scootering after that. But I was actually in America about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, something like that, and he was actually at the skate park. Like, he just turned up at the skate park and was riding. I was like, that's Tony Hawk, like, it's amazing. And like I was so shy, and I was like, built the confidence. I was like, all right, Tony, can I get a picture? And he was like, yeah, of course. So I got a picture with him, and I was like, yes.
So cool.
It was so good. But he's actually signed a thing in California that every new housing estate has to have a skate park, which is really, really good. Like, even if it's small, but it gives like the kids like around the areas like something to do rather than like just being bored and like being on the streets and stuff like that. It gives them something to do. I think that's really good and something that like should happen around here. Yeah. But the thing is, it rains all the time.
That is true. But then I guess like there is indoor parks.
There is indoor parks, yeah. But they all get it for free.
Yeah, okay.
And they have good weather.
Yeah, perfect every day, isn't it? California.
Yeah.
Because how important do you think it is for kids? Because I know obviously it's a good outlet and something to do. What do you think around
I think like because like where I live, a lot of like kids just like hang around the streets and just don't really do anything and just do like bad stuff and stuff like that. But I feel like even being on a mountain bike, like we went into like the local woods near ours and we built jumps. And I feel like just doing anything rather than hanging around, like getting on a bike, building jumps, getting on a scooter, going to the skate park, just doing something like not just like hanging around. It's like it's fun. You'll get better at something. You'll learn a skill, and it keeps you fit as well.
Yeah,
that's like a main thing, like keeping fit and like staying off your Xbox. I turned my Xbox on like the other day, and it said like 4 hours worth of updates, and I just don't see the point going on it anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any sort of lessons for life that you can take from scootering, or perhaps is there any lessons from life that you're giving to scootering? Because I know there's a lot of creativity and things like that while you're riding. Because
like with scootering or like anything like within action sports, you won't get it first time, and it might take you a week. And some people are like, "Oh, give up! Like I can't do it." Like with it, I see people like try something like 5 times, and they'll get kind of close. And then they'll do one and like fall off and they'll be like, "Oh, I can't do that." But I'm not like that. I'll like sit and do it until I've landed it. Or if I get close and I know I'm gonna hurt myself in a few times, I'll be like, "Alright, I'll come back and do it tomorrow." But like, it gives me goals in life as well, like not to give up and just keep going. Because like for yourself as well, like if you don't do it, you don't like do it like the next day, you feel bad inside. You're like, "Oh, I wish I would have gone back and like done that." But I'm always like wanting to do something, and like even if I don't do it like within like 10 goes, I'll just keep at it until I do it.
Yeah, it's such an important thing for young people nowadays because I think like there's not that many people out there telling kids like to try hard, and it's kind of people kind of think that it's all coming like naturally to them.
Yeah, and like the atmosphere at the skate park, like even if it's like me learning like a double backflip combo, like double backflip triple whip over something I've never done before, people like be like, "Oh my god," and start clapping and stuff like that. But then you watch like little kids learn like the first tail whip, and everyone will start clapping for them. Because even though I've like done this trick before, it's on something new, which is scaring me. Landing your first tail whip's like probably like having a baby or something like that. It's the best feeling ever. Like when I landed my first tail whip, I was like, I've just done a tail whip. Like it went round and I've landed on it, and like I did it for like a week straight. Every single thing I'd just whip it, and like the atmosphere is so good. Like you'll meet people there at skate parks and they'll push you on and be like, "Come on, you can do this," and it gives you a sense of like happiness as well. You're like, "Oh, this is like one of the best things." It's really good.
Do you think maybe because it was slightly maligned at first, do you think maybe that's why there's a sense of camaraderie in
everyone's just like, there's a big hype around it now, and everyone's like, "Right, let's get this," and like everyone's just loving it. And you go to the skate park and like 80% to 90% will be just be scooter riders that are all friendly and you can just go talk to, and when you land a trick, I'll say it again, like everyone starts clapping and dead happy for you, and it's just a good atmosphere.
How's that then? Is there a slight difference between that and maybe at some of the competitions and things?
Yeah, like you're seeing like other competitions, like I don't know if this happens, but like, you know, footballers play for a different team, like they're like proper fierce and like don't focus on anything. With scooter riders, they like cheer for everyone. Like the atmosphere is amazing. Like even though you're against people, you're like, "Come on, let's go." And like if they fall off on a run, you're like, "Come on, get up, keep going. You've got like 30 seconds left." And like there's some rivals, but like mainly it's just everyone wants people to be good and do the best.
Do you have any sort of rituals or any music you listen to calm your butterflies before?
I listen to a drum and bass like Mackie G, and like that just gets me like hyped and stuff like that, and it kind of like makes my nerves go away. So it's just like, I don't know, like when I listen to it, I just feel like invincible. I'm like, alright, I can do this now. Because before a competition, I'm like yawning, I'm tired, but like when like you get like a list of names, like, and that's the order that you go in, you have 2 60-second runs, you'll see like someone's name being called like 2 before yours, and you're like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. But as soon as you drop in, all your nerves go. But listening to like the drum and bass music just makes me like feel like proper good and feel like I can keep going.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then what would you do to celebrate a good performance?
I'll just pick up my scooter and be like, yes, like that, and then like everyone will start clapping. It's boss.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you not have a cheeky night out or something with the guys?
Yeah, sometimes I have a night out, and yeah, that's how I celebrate it. Because I've not really like lived like the 18-year-olds, because we went into lockdown like a month after my birthday, so I only went out once. So I've never really like experienced going out a lot.
How was lockdown in terms of your training and stuff?
It was alright, because I had like a little half pipe in my back garden, so I did that, and then we built like a little gym, so I started using that a lot, and then bought an actual airbag, and I put it in the front of my house, and it covered like the front of my house.
Wow.
And I'd ride down my estate and like land on the airbag. I've got a few videos, and you'll have to put that in. It's good. I got 2 as well. I got one with a landing, but it was really like short, and it was hard to like land on. But then when you could go to parks and visit, like walk around like parks with like 2 to 3 people, I used to go really early of a morning and go to outdoor skate parks, because in that lockdown we had the best summer ever. Like it was hot every single day.
Sod's law, wasn't it?
I know, it was literally, we couldn't do anything, we couldn't go out, and it was the best weather. But I went to the skate parks like really early of a morning, and then just came home, so it was quite good. Wasn't too bad. But yeah, buying the airbags was fun while it lasted, but now like don't need them anymore.
Yeah, see, I've got this image of your house during lockdown being set up, like your whole house basically set up.
Literally, there was we have a little gate on the side of my house, and there's like bins, and I jump the ramp, landing there. I go flying into the bins like down the side, try and slow me down. And
is your mum okay with you taking over the house?
Yeah, she's fine with it. She's the one. She got the idea of getting the airbag. She was like, "I don't get an airbag," and I was like, "It's a good idea, that."
She seems really supportive.
Yeah, my mum and dad are really supportive, and my mum like helps me with everything, and she's the best.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So like, what other sacrifices would you say you've made, and your mum and dad too as well, presumably, because all these competitions, you're all over the world, aren't you?
Yeah. So like, I've like sacrificed a lot of like just like going out all the time and like seeing my mates, because I'm like, they're like, why don't you come out? Why don't you come on Xbox? But I'm like, I want to go train and like get better, because like my mentality is, if I want to try something, do something, I want to be the best at doing that something. And I think it's a good mindset to have, like wanting to be the best and do the best. Like everything that I like put my mind to doing, I always do. And like, even though it might take me like a week to like do something, I always want to do it. So I did sacrifice like going out a lot, like, but I don't mind it, because I can go out like when I'm older. But for now, like when you're younger, you want something that like you can do and like be like persistent at, so you can like live off it, really.
Yeah. Is there a moment when you did realise that this is something that you're going to be able to live off?
Yeah, it was the first competition in D-side. It was the first ever World Finals, and I was in an amateur comp, and I came third in it. And after it, I had like 6 different sponsors coming up to me. I was like, "We want to put you on the pro team," and I was like, "Oh my god!" And Mad Gear back in the day was like the biggest company in the world. And they came over and was like, "We really want you on the pro team." And I was like, yep, definitely, 100%. Like, I had no second thought about it. And then it was like, that was like a dream come true then. It was amazing.
Is that something you kind of thought might happen? Or is
it
total...
Yeah, I thought that might happen when I first started, because I used to go to all, like, they did events, like, at Rampworks, like, a lot. They used to have Mad Gear nights, and used to be like 400 people in like the skate park.
Wow.
And you couldn't move at all. And I have, like, back in the day when I first started riding, everyone knew me because I had this mohawk on my helmet. But that was only because I'd have the mohawk on my helmet so my mum could see where I was in the skate park. But then I got good on a scooter and, like, I kept it, and everyone knew me as the mohawk kid.
That's awesome.
But everyone's telling me to put the mohawk back on my helmet. But I think for the World Finals, if I get there, bring it back, and everyone will be like, oh, that's the mohawk kid.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Would you have any advice to young people who are thinking about maybe getting into it, or maybe taking it a bit more seriously than they are now?
Just make sure that you're wearing a helmet and knee pads, and you've always got to go for something. Don't, like, bottle it. You've always got to, like, be determined, and don't... I don't know how to phrase it, like, just... If you're going to try something new, or, like, do anything, you just got to be fully committed, because if you, like, don't do it right, you might hurt yourself. You've always got to be committed, and just make sure you're wearing your helmet and knee pads, and then you should be alright, as I say, should be sound.
That's brilliant. And then finally, do you have maybe a favourite mantra, or something that you repeat to yourself, or a little phrase?
I actually have one. It's called, I just say send it. And I actually got it tattooed on my leg. So on my leg it says send it. And, like, when I wear, like, that's, like, wear my shorts, you can see, like, the send it on it. And I think that's just, like, a lot of scoot riders or BMXers or any action sports will be like, oh, just send it. Like, it means just, like, do it, basically.
Yeah.
And that's, like, one that I always, like, live up to. I'm just like, send it, because someone will try it before you.
Yeah.
That's another one, is, like, you've got to be the first person to try it, and, like, don't tell anyone if you're learning something big, because someone will try and do it before you. So just always, like, make sure that if you're doing something big, keep it to yourself. That's what I've done.
Brilliant. Right, thank you very much for your time. Really enjoyed speaking to you today.
You too, it's been boss.
Brilliant.
Hi guys, hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you did, be sure to leave us a like and a subscribe, and check out all our other videos for some more great interviews and content. Bye.